we have another space in my studio that needs organization. It has just accumulated boxes. We've got a lot to tackle today because we need to organize our projects into one space. We need to organize our market supplies into one space. And we're gonna get a shelf up that's gonna hold my bolts of fabric, my extra batting, and those sorts of supplies. So let's dive in. We've got a lot to tackle, but it's going to be worth it. I am back and we have another space in my studio that needs organization. It has just accumulated boxes and containers, and a lot of my projects are disorganized. So today we are tackling that. We are gonna get my quilting studio nice and organized. If you're new to the channel, my name is Lauren. I am the quilter and fiber artist behind Garden Girl Studio. I'm so glad you're here. Today is gonna be an exciting day. I have two main working spaces. I have my design studio where I do a lot of my fabric design, my drawing, my painting, workshop prep, and then I have my quilting studio. I'm a long arm quilter, and at this location I also store all of my market supplies. I have a market prep, so any projects like bag cutouts, I cut out, there's a bigger table here where I can cut out fabric more easily. So anywhere I've got to be preparing for that. I also have my embroidery machine here. So any projects that require my embroidery machine, those projects are here, and they are so disorganized. I have bolts of fabric everywhere. I have these projects mixed in different boxes. So today we are getting organized. I'm going to be putting up a shelf right here in this space. So let's go take a look at the mess and then we'll jump in and get started. So we have been using this area just as a storage space, but we really need to get this cleaned up. This is a mix of market prep supplies. You can see I have in here, I have different tablecloths, I have display units, mannequin heads, and in these bigger bins, so back here, I have all kinds of fabric. Look how messy that is. So we're gonna clean that up and get it organized so that it's nice and neat. I'm gonna be putting up a shelf in this space. We're gonna be moving this quilt rack over to the other side. This is my long arm frame, so it's gonna be moving here, and then we're gonna be putting a display shelf right in this space. So to get started, I wanna go through these bins and see what's in there and possibly put them into, just to get them more organized. I'm probably going to divide by project type, and then we're gonna go from there. We've got a lot to tackle today because we need to organize our projects into one space. We need to organize our market supplies into one space, and we're gonna get a shelf up that's gonna hold my bolts of fabric, my extra batting, and those sorts of supplies. So let's dive in. We've got a lot to tackle, but it's going to be worth it. I'm just gonna get the fabric kind of neat and organized, take out any extra things. These are templates for cup cozies. We're just gonna tidy this up. I don't know why that's even in this bag. Okay, I'm back with another update. My dad is helping me too. He's
Hi. Donate platelets.
Donate platelets, okay. So he is going to help me put the shelf up. He's also one of the best organizers I know, so he's helping us get organized. And he's gonna be moving the quilt rack that was holding up the quilt, well, the fish quilt that was over there. He's gonna be moving it here. It was there, and now it's going over here. So he's moving that now while I'm sorting through this bin mess. I've gone through the two main project bins, which had our city-state hoops, like our New York State project hoops, the ones where I put like home in the city. All of these projects. We also had our bag templates, our cup cozy templates. They're all here. And so I think I want to put our like partial projects into this low boy bin, just so they're all in one spot. And I'll kind of section, it's a long and low bin. I'm gonna kind of section it by project. I do have a lot of extra fabric that I think I might keep in a separate place, we'll see, or I have a second low boy bin. I think these will fit on the shelving unit much better than a taller bin, so I might put the fabric that we use for these projects into a second bin, just so we have one with started projects and templates and one with fabric that can be used. So that's the current status, and I'm gonna start sorting that now to see what fits. So I have finished going through that long and narrow bin, and I've decided I was gonna put everything back into the long and narrow bin, but then it's gonna get messy again the second that someone throws their hands in there and just starts pulling out fabric. So I rummaged and found these. And I think I'm going to divide these into embroidery projects. And the other project is going to be bags and cup cozies so that everything is sorted and nice and neat. And then we're gonna label the sides and go from there. So I'll show you how that turns out. Okay, so these are my embroidery blanks. These are ready for the embroidery machine. They're all gonna go in here, along with these are scrap pieces of stabilizer. The big rolls are gonna go onto the shelf separately. And these are hearts that I use around Valentine's Day or for any kind of funny, silly, lovey kind of phrases. They're all gonna go into here. This pile is actually extra fabric that I've used in the past for these hoops. So I'm gonna make a pile of these and I'll set it in here as well, just because it'll be easier to grab this should we ever need extra fabric. And I'm gonna set it on the bottom because I think the blanks are gonna be most important when we're just going to quick grab the blanks. And when I say blanks, I mean we embroider states and cities. And so these are just ready to pop into the machine. They're pre-basted, it gives us a little extra room, and they have the stabilizer already attached. So, perfect. This is going to be our embroidery bin. Feeling good about this already. I'm gonna go ahead and label that in a minute. And then this bin is going to be for bags and cup cozies. So, normally I would put like, these are pre-cut. My dad is awesome and he'll pre-cut my fabric for me when he has a few minutes every now and then. But these I'm gonna bring home because they're ready to go. But there are liners here. So thank you. These are all of our templates bags. So this has all of our templates, all of our instructions. This is going right into this bin so that we have it for when we're ready to make bags. These bags had, same as this, see how this is labeled small bags? These are for like our larger bags. So I've either made or taken home all of the pre-cuts. So these are going in for whenever, if I have more in the future. This bag is for their scraps, but they're actually big enough for zipper stops or little extra loops for our bags. So these are coming in here because it's all the same fabrics that we use for our bags. And then I have two piles of fabric in here. One is linen cotton canvas, which I've been really loving for our bags because it gives them the extra support that they need. And then I have a batch of cotton that is also gonna fit in here. Perfect. Cup cozies. These would be good for like fall time. And we have our cup cozy like templates. This was made out of a pizza box, I think, but it's easier to cut around cardboard than it is around the paper. So I'm gonna actually put these into a bag so they don't get mixed up. And so now our cup cozies are all in one place. And we have elastic, and I might separate these. So these elastics can just kind of sit in here on their own, that's fine. But these little guys, they're loose, and I'm all out of my white, I think this is 1/8 inch elastic. I'm just gonna put it into the pre-cut bag, the pre-cut cup cozy bag, so that we know where to find them, so there's no waste, and we've got them when we're ready to start making up cup cozies again for markets. Okay. This is so much nicer, so much neater. I'm gonna go ahead and label the sides of these boxes so that when we put them onto the shelving unit, they're ready to go. Up next, we're gonna actually put up our shelving unit right here. My dad is going to be helping me. I asked him to move the quilt rack that was here to just behind me. I will link that video in the description below. It's a short one, it's a quick one, but if you wanna see how to hang quilts so you can change them out seasonally, it's a really quick and easy job. I'll link in the description below so that you can check out that video. My dad leads that one. He's super fun. I just love how much he helps me. I'm so appreciative. So you can check that out, but we're gonna assemble the shelving unit next so we can get everything organized and neat and tidy. Okay, so we've built our shelf. And we ordered a 36-inch shelf. I think we were thinking about getting a 48-inch shelf, but it was on wheels, and this is an old house, and the floors are not level. So this model, the 36-inch one, which I'm gonna link in the description below, you can adjust the feet to the appropriate height so that we could kind of level it out. My next step is going to be all of the bins that I just sorted are going onto the shelf. You can see them down here below a little bit. And I'm gonna start putting my bolts of fabric. I have a whole nother bin with just fabric and extra fabric. And sometimes when you're organizing, things get messy before they get neat again. And I'm gonna have extra fabric. And at some point, I think I'm gonna make a bin just full of miscellaneous fabric, things that didn't have an exact home but aren't part of a project. Because I'm finding along the way that we just, as quilters and sewers, crafters, we have extra supplies. So at some point, I'll probably just have an extra supply bin full of extra fabric goodies that aren't necessarily associated with the project, but need a home and a good place to be stored. So that's next on tap. After that, we're gonna start organizing our market bins. And sometimes, you know, you're in the heat of the market and you're like, where is XYZ? I don't know, it's in one of the supply bins. Well, where is that bin? Well, so we're gonna eliminate that by having designated bins for certain stages of market setup and then market displays. So market setup versus market display, and then market product, so that we can find things as we need them and to make life a little bit easier. So I'll try to capture all of that process as best I can. And one thing that I forgot to mention, because I'm a long arm quilter, I mentioned the bolts of fabric, but I also have bolts of batting. So I'm gonna be bringing those up and storing them here as well. So I have all kinds of batting, all kinds of stabilizer, all kinds of bolts of fabric. So we're gonna be adding those to these shelving units as well. So here we go. Okay, so we just added all of our batting, our project bins, and our extra fabric to the shelving. Next up, we're gonna start organizing our market bins. We're gonna try to divide them into a bin for display and a bin for like setup tools. So fingers crossed we consolidate those. The goal is to put them into 2 bins that are the same height so they're easy to pack into the car. So we're gonna start that now. This is what we're currently starting with. You can see things are kind of scattered and disorganized. So we're gonna try to consolidate them into some bins. Actually, bins that are that size right there, that purple bin. So we're gonna tackle that next. So an update, we just finished our storage shelves and getting all of our market stuff all organized. I'm going to show you right now. I think it came out so good. This is so much better than that pile that we started with. These 2 bins right here, I'm going to use for all of my market products. So I'm going to take them home. That's where I keep the majority of my inventory in my other studio. This is just a pile of scraps that my mom can use for scrap quilting or whatever she wants, but they're too small to use. But otherwise I have a bin up top for projects that's full of fabric. I have my bags and pouches and cup cozy projects that are started, my embroidery projects that are started, all my bolts of fabric, all of my batting, stabilizers, all of that stuff, my big bolts of batting. Plus this bolt here is huge. I don't use it too often, but it's extra wide backings for my long arm quilters. If they ever want an extra wide backing, I have that available. And then down here we have storage supplies. Please ignore the laser copy labels. We need to label those. But this one up here, this one is all of our tools. The other ones are all, so this bin here is all display stuff. So mannequin heads, tablecloths, all of those sorts of, bins. I have the white milk crates. And then this bin down here, which we kind of tucked in there. That's just has a couple extra mannequin heads and a couple extra clean tablecloths that will probably stay here. It probably won't come with us to our markets, but it's so much more organized. So I'm really happy to have a much more organized space. It'll help keep me more efficient as I'm working, creating, and preparing for markets. So I hope this helped you too. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It'll help other viewers find videos that they might enjoy. And if you have any questions, comment down below. I'd love to hear from you, hear your feedback. Let me know if you have similar setups. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. I'd love to know what you'd like to see next time. So until our next video, friends, happy stitching.